Hi, Mr. Cravens here. I'm the College and Career Specialist at Desert Edge High School, and I want to talk to you today about FAFSA. Kind of explain it a little bit, give you an overview, help you understand what that's all about. You've probably heard the term, but need a little more help understanding what FAFSA does for you. So let's take a look at this presentation. By the way, the presentation will be on the Desert Edge High School website soon, so you can look for it there in case you miss anything from the presentation. But first question is, what is FAFSA? FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. It's used by the federal government and most colleges, universities, and accredited vocational schools to award need-based grant funds used for the cost of education. Cool. To be eligible, the student and a parent must complete the application each year on or after October the 1st. What are the benefits? Well, in addition to the grant money, the federal government also awards work study programs, basically campus jobs. They're really great jobs, and loans to both students and parents. The amount of a federal grant, called a Pell Grant, may be as much as $6,345 per year. And then colleges, based on the information you've sent them in your FAFSA, may offer additional need-based grants. Loans to students may be as high as $5,500 per year, and loans to qualified parents also have very favorable interest rates, probably better than you can find in a bank or credit union. Who's eligible? The student must be a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen. They have to be a high school graduate, or they can have a GED. While they're in school, they have to be enrolled in an eligible degree or certificate program. They have to have a valid Social Security number. Males must register for the Selective Service within 30 days of their 18th birthday. And you have to have satisfactory academic progress while in college or your vocational school. How do you apply? For information and links on completing the FAFSA, check out the financial aid page on the Desert Edge High School website under Parent and Student Resources. I'll show you what that looks like. Here's the Desert Edge High School website. I've moved over to the tab called Parent and Student Resources. You can see I've highlighted it because it's now in black. And then a few lines down in the index, you'll see financial aid. It won't have a nice circle and an arrow, but that's where you're going to locate it. When you click that, it will take you to the Counseling and Career Center's financial aid page. And I'm going to point out a couple things here. There's some paragraphs right in the middle, but if you click on the FSA ID, that's one place that you'll want to go. I'll explain that in a minute. And you can click on FAFSA.gov to complete the actual FAFSA. And I'll discuss why you'd use those. But I also want to point to this right-hand column. I have lots of extra links over here for you. On this side, which includes checklists and worksheets and videos to help you understand it. So lots of other helpful tools over on that side of the page as well. So I'm not going to go back to it each time, although I will refer to it several times during the presentation. The first step will be for the student and parent to obtain that FSA ID, which will allow you to access your account, and it will also act as an electronic signature. You're going to review the video on FSA ID from the Desert Edge High School website. It's less than 2 minutes, and proceed to complete the FSA ID online application. You can do this anytime. You can do it prior to October 1st or anytime after that. I do suggest you do it a few days before you actually want to complete the FAFSA itself, as it takes a little bit of time to process sometimes. Remember, your FSA ID username and password are confidential and should not be shared with anyone. Make sure you save it in a safe place. Important, do not use your high school email address for your FAFSA. If you do, in subsequent years, you're going to get emails sent to your high school email address, which you may no longer use, and eventually will get closed out. So use a personal email address. Once you've obtained an FSA ID, you can complete the FAFSA application on or after October the 1st. Gather the documents you need to apply using the checklist found on the Desert Edge High School website. I'll show you what that looks like. This is referred to as the checklist. And you'll see that it's got a nice red header, a blue bar with some stuff, and lots of really cool information for you to check. There's a 4-page FAFSA worksheet found on the Desert Edge High School website to enter all the data that you're going to be asked for. The worksheet may have the wrong year on it. They haven't given us the updated ones yet. So just pretend you're 1 year in advance of every date that you see on it. But it'll look like this. It's gray for the most part, gray and black. And then here's what some of the worksheet information will look like. Okay. My suggestion is to view the videos on the Desert Edge High School website about completing the FAFSA. The videos will walk you through the process. I believe there's 6 videos. Then you're going to go to www.fafsa.gov and complete the FAFSA. This is best done with the student and the parent together. You're going to be completing it for next year, next academic year, which is 2021-22. Don't make the mistake of using the current year. You're going to be asked what schools you want the information sent to. You can add them now or you can add them later. My suggestion is to use the IRS data retrieval tool when you're prompted. As you're completing the FAFSA, it'll ask you if you want to use it. Instead of entering your information off of your tax returns, you simply say, yeah, that's okay, go to the IRS and pull my data from there. It may save a little time down the road as it lessens the chance of asking for verification where you send in information to the schools and stuff. So it's a helpful little tool. Some students and parents may be confused about which parent or parents need to report their income. You can check out page 2 of that FAFSA checklist for an explanation. It looks like this. Remember, this was a checklist that had a red header and some blue bars separating the information in the middle. Some good information to help you if you're uncertain about that. Don't leave any fields blank. Enter a 0 or a non-applicable, and A if there's nothing to enter there. Parents with no social security number, which happens, can enter all zeros and should enter all zeros. Use the exact name that is shown on your social security card. Exactly. If you need help, you can text Ask Benji. I'm not sure who Benji is, but Benji has a lot of answers about FAFSA. And the phone number is listed here. It's also on that Desert Edge High School website on the right-hand side of the page. Before you finish, look for the confirmation page that says your FAFSA has been submitted. So the last thing you'll say is submit, and wait. Once you get a note that says congratulations, then you can log out. After the FAFSA, after you've completed it, you're going to look for a response by email, or if you happen to have mailed in your FAFSA, which you can do, you'll get a response by regular mail confirming that the FAFSA was processed. You're going to receive what's called a student aid report, an SAR. Basically, it's just a recap of everything that you submitted when you completed the FAFSA. You're going to review it, make sure there's no mistakes on it. This is the time to correct it. Each college that you've been accepted to and have sent FAFSA information to will provide you with a financial aid award letter. Sometimes it goes by different names, but that's basically what it is. And it may show up on your student account. That's going to outline the federal and student grants, school grants, and scholarships that have been awarded to you. Tell you about all the free money that you're getting. Typically, these will be available around the first of the year, maybe January, February, something like that. Sometimes it's sooner. Generally speaking, it's around the first of the year. Your school may ask you to complete a routine verification process of your FAFSA before offering your award. Nothing to worry about, just a random verification that is required by them. Hey, you're done. That was it. Well, not exactly. Remember, it's unlikely that need-based financial aid will cover all of your college expenses. So you'll still need to apply for scholarships and use other resources as well. Good luck. If you have any questions, please ask your counselor or see me, Mr. Cravens.